New Jersey's Newark Airport might already be feeling the impact of the government shutdown. As concerns grow over not receiving their paychecks, air traffic controllers have been calling out from time to time, delaying air travel control. There have been questions about TSA and whether those workers will continue to show up. But joining us right now is Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. He was at Newark Airport yesterday, and he spoke to the air traffic controllers there. I guess Newark is just one of so many places around the country where you're starting to feel this. What did you hear at Newark Airport when you were there?
So the controllers are stressed out, right? So they work overtime. They work 6 days a week, tough jobs. They're working on equipment that is sometimes 20, 30, 50 years old. And so they're concerned, they're family people, right? They've got houses, mortgages, car payments. They have to put food on the table. They're concerned they may not get a paycheck, right? They'll eventually be paid, but the shutdown is forcing them to work without the guarantee that their paychecks come in a timely manner. So
actually,
they're stressed.
There is a question about that now. We were just confirming from the White House that this memo that was leaked earlier about whether or not they'll actually be paid is true. I think there are considerations at the White House to say if you are furloughed, you will not eventually receive back pay like has been processed in the past.
So, but if you're furloughed, you don't come to work, you don't get paid. But those who do come to work that are critical safety positions, I think they will get paid for the services that they provided to the country. So they will get paid. But a lot of them are saying we might have to think about working 6 days a week and then going to drive Uber, so we can get some dollars into our coffers to make sure we can put food on the table.
What kind of pressure can you bring to try and clear things up more quickly? I mean, you're seeing on the front lines the pain that this causes.
So, listen, it's my job to tell the controllers to show up for work. That is your job. You're eventually going to be paid. However, I have to advocate for them as well to say, listen, this is the reality of America. They are under pressure. They provide great services to us. And by the way, when your plane's delayed or you're canceled, they're the ones that are making sure that you don't fly when it's not safe. They're the ones that make sure we get to where we're going. And so I'm going to advocate for them. Again, let's open up the government. There's the conversations and the fights that are happening are about issues allegedly that are going to come to fruition at the end of the year. Open up the government, take the months to have a conversation and negotiate, but let's not use this as leverage with hardworking Americans that keep our sky safe for political benefit.
Are issues popping up in terms of staffing shortages at various places that you've seen during the shutdown?
So what we're seeing is I'm not seeing one location consistently controllers not coming into work. What I am seeing is a small blip in one facility, and then that gets resolved, and you'll see it pop up somewhere else. So it's not one facility consistently not having controllers come in, but we are seeing issues in the system. And again, you saw yesterday in Burbank multiple hour delays because we didn't have enough controllers to control that airspace.
Do you think it's a union action? You think this is just frustrated employees or people who are actually sick?
No, so the union was with me yesterday.
Yeah, they've advocated not doing
this. It's the union's job to make the case for their union members. They're great partners. I'm helping make the case for them as well. So no, this is not a union action. Now, could you see in Burbank yesterday that everyone did a sick out? Possibly. I don't have that evidence right now, but it's not led by the national union. They're trying to advocate for the controllers to end the shutdown and get pay coming to the people that provide the services to the skies.
Secretary Duffy, the shutdown is just exacerbating a situation that's been pretty untenable for quite a while, where we just don't have enough air traffic controllers.
So we're over 2,000 short right now. We don't have enough controllers, so a lot of our controllers work overtime. But what I've done is I've supercharged people coming into the business. Right, they make good money, 180 at the first end. At the back end, in some areas like New York, you can make up to $400,000 a year with overtime. And so we've increased the throughput of the academy by 20%. We've decreased the time frame in which it takes to get a young person that wants to be a controller actually into the academy. It was taking over 2 years for a young person to apply to the academy, to get into the academy. Well, if you're 23 years old, you're not going to wait around for 2 years to wait for your slot. You're going to go find another job. So we've decreased that time frame, and we're getting the best and the brightest in. So, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time to get.
Are we talking?
We're talking years. And so again, we've in the first phase of this, we're 20% up in controllers. We want to improve that next year. One of the problems with the shutdown, though, is getting them through the academy, they go to towers or TRACONs or centers, and they have to get trained up. And the support staff that's there to train the new controllers to get them certified, we're having issues with the funding to keep those people employed. So it has a ripple effect at a time when we're trying to make up this 2,000 controller deficit. We don't have the staff in place to actually make sure these young people are getting trained into their
And this is one of those
facilities.
areas that really upset voters when you start to see delays or you even start to see concerns about safety as a result of this shutdown. When I was looking back at the 2019 shutdown in the first Trump administration, the event that caused that shutdown to end was the delays in air traffic and people's flights. What are you hearing from airlines? Are you starting to hear any complaints on the passenger side? What do you think it would take for that piece of it to be the catalyst that ends the shutdown?
So my phone is the dumping zone for everyone I know to tell me that they're delayed or canceled. Listen, I don't want to see our air travel as a leverage point in this. I do think you need members of Congress to come together and figure out a path forward. And again, sometimes...
What are you hearing from airlines right now? What are they telling you?
They're navigating, right? So we haven't had significant outages. They can manage these issues. They manage weather. They manage staffing delays with air traffic controllers. They know how to do it, right? And they are doing it, and they make up the difference. But also, which is why airlines and air traffic controllers, we've had 63 different organizations that don't sit together to come and say we need to revamp our whole air traffic control system. We need $31 billion. I got $12.5 billion. But we need the rest of the money. So I want Congress to actually come. And by the way, a lot of partisanship in D.C., not partisanship in regard to this issue. They're going to find us the money.